People think that it's up to the individual to lift themselves up out of poverty. Well, that's actually not true. It's up to the community to help lift each other up. Hello, my name is Nikki.
Hi, my name is Bruce Livingston.
Hi, my name is Siobhan.
Hi, my name is Susan Martin.
Hello, my name is Kayla.
The Backpack Project is a community organization that provides mutual aid to our friends and family who are unhoused. I collect donations from community members that care, and I bring them to people that need them the most.
I'm a volunteer with NSUN, and I have lived experience of homelessness.
I am the housing outreach worker at Quadra Village Community Center.
I'm a volunteer with Neighborhood Solidarity with Unhoused Neighbors, known as NSUN.
Right now, I'm a student in the Mental Health and Addictions program at Camosun College, but in the past, I have worked as an outreach worker in the Greater Victoria area. I've learned a lot of things about bikes, different tricks on like how to get your chain to not sound proper or like improperly, how to park your bike in a cool way, like different terms for bike things. That's in particular like something I knew nothing about, but now I'm like, wow, you know, like I'm kind of an authority on bikes now.
I've learned that an awful lot of people seem to have come to disability status through their work, particularly men. You know, I've met a lot of men who have experienced like repetitive strain injuries or construction injuries or stuff like that, and then once you're injured and you can't work anymore and your body's always in pain, living outdoors is just hell.
We've had decades of neglect from our leaders, and so what I've learned is that their struggles are not because they're too lazy or because they don't know how to pull themselves up by their bootstraps. It's because there simply isn't the services out there anymore. We don't have social supports the way we should have, or the way we used to have.
Resilience and compassion. So many times people will just thank me for doing kind of what feels like the bare minimum of just sitting and listening to them. Again, I learned, not to take things for granted.
People think that it's up to the individual to lift themselves up out of poverty. Well, that's actually not true. It's up to the community to help lift each other up, so that we are all afforded the basic human rights.
I'm thinking about somebody that I met 10 years ago who has been overdosing sometimes daily and going through ridiculous tribulations of homelessness, sleeping on sidewalks, but she's kind of okay today. There were so many steps along that way that I was preparing myself for her death, and but patience and a gentle just being there, waiting for her to be ready, I guess, for a better change.
You can overcome a lot of things.
How easy it is to just like make someone's day. You know, like we're working with people who, the best case scenario in their day-to-day life, people walk by them and they're like, they don't even want to acknowledge the existence. And so, you know, these are people whose social needs are not being met. And it is honestly like very gratifying knowing that like you can play a part in this person's life where they're being like horribly neglected by 99% of the people they see on the street every day. Like it's like they're invisible.
And the other thing that's really sad is the number of older people that we're seeing in the parks, you know, people in their 60s, and their incomes just can't keep up with the rising rents. And it's really sad to think that when somebody should be thinking about relaxing and enjoying their so-called golden years, that they're finding themselves in a tent in the park. Yeah.
It didn't really occur to me before I started working in this field, like how impactful it is that someone will just, you know, stand there and have a conversation with you.
I think people could educate themselves by listening to both sides of the stories. Having a little bit more room for compassion. I think they can pay attention to local politics and the policies that we're creating.
There's a number of agencies and nonprofits, and some is totally volunteer driven, but we accept donations, and the Backpack Project in Victoria is a very good place to put your care and know that it will get delivered to somebody who needs it.
You can educate yourself on the human right to housing, which is part of, you know, Canada's laws and charters. It doesn't mean that we give people free housing, but that we have a responsibility as a society to provide adequate, affordable, appropriate housing that's safe and that people want to live in.
Find it in yourself to hold space for the people that you feel like might be others.
Talk to your neighbor. And as you start to make these connections, you kind of realize that, you know, there are a lot of people who have an appetite for change. And when you have a group of people like that, you know, you can start to apply pressure. If your entire block, you know, rolls up to a municipal town hall and is, you know, making these demands, like, that's a very easy way to make your voice heard. You know, these are elections that are decided by margins of often under 100 votes.
I would encourage people to write to mayors and council to ask, what are you doing? Yeah, I don't want people camping in parks, and the reason I don't want people camping in parks is because it's not humane and dignified, and but if people are not going to be supplied with proper housing, then I'm going to support them being in the park, because it's just not right that people should have nowhere to go.
Everybody has superpowers. Some people can write letters, some people can phone in, some people can donate blankets, some people can hand out socks, but I think it takes a community to make change. And I think we all have to bond together as a community to create the change that we want to see, so that we have healthy communities where everyone can prosper.
The agencies too that work around the homelessness problem, the Coalition, Our Place, Kool-Aid, Salvation Army, they're all working from their own perspectives to help make the situation better for everyone.
So I would encourage the public to think about their warmth and comfort, the roof over their own head, and want that for their neighbors, because the people in the parks are your neighbors. They're not some other people that have come from another planet. They are fellow humans, fellow residents of Victoria, and they deserve the same kind of things that house people have access to.
If you're making these connections and sort of fostering a community that cares about, you know, the people living in it, all of a sudden, like, you're going to want to see more projects in your neighborhood that are beneficial to that way of thinking.
A lot of the time when I tell people that I'm a housing outreach worker, they'll give me so many explanations about why they think that the housing crisis is the way that it is, and a lot of the time they think it's because people want to be living outside, or that they are just stuck in their ways and they don't want to do anything to support themselves, but it's everything but that.
You can recognize the power that you hold, both individually, but then, like, as a group member, you know, like, you can be involved with something that's greater than yourself.
So a little bit of empathy, some political action. You can always donate to NSUN also. Tax deductible.
I think just educating yourself and, yeah, just being kind to people.
Community. Community means to me people from all walks of life coming together and acknowledging one another and spending time together and learning about each other and supporting and uplifting each other.
Sharing, being open, non-judgmental, tolerance. That's the best I can do for now.
Community means survival. Again, I don't think that a lot of us would be around, especially a lot of marginalized communities. I'm part of the queer community. A lot of people in my community and others wouldn't be here unless it wasn't for everyone supporting each other. Same with now. Things like food banks and grassroots organizations that take time out of their own day and their own lives to support their community is a lot of the reason why there are still a lot of people alive today. And community just kind of means everything in human survival.
What does community mean to me? I think community means to me sharing and meeting people where they are.
Knowing that you're not alone out there because other people in your same situation are ready to like support you when you need it, even just on like the absolute like basic level.
So to me, that's what community is. It's not necessarily belonging to a place, but it's belonging to each other. Having that openness and willingness to, rather than thinking, oh, this person might be scary or that I might not like this person, like just take a chance and say hi and be open and take the risk that human might have something in common with you.
Community is an extension of family. It starts with family and it ends up in community. So whatever we're doing to our families, we're doing to our communities. If we have healthy families, we'll have healthy communities. And community, safe, happy, healthy communities, that's where it starts. And that's what it means to me. And that's why I do the work I do.